Well, hello, and welcome back to the FIT40 Podcast, where we simplify exercise and nutrition for busy parents 40 plus so they can improve their health and feel amazing. I'm your host, Brian Fitzsimmons, certified personal trainer and nutrition coach for people over 40 since 2015. And today, we have an awesome topic today. We are going to be talking about my top 5 tips for losing the summer weight, because I know there's a lot of people who are coming out of all these vacations, their kids are going back to school, and they're looking at the scale and they're just like, oh, crap, again. So we're going to talk about how to lose that weight real fast, make sure it's not an issue, and you can get back on track, get yourself into amazing shape, and kick ass the rest of this year from August through December. All right. But before we do that, make sure that you are following or you are subscribed wherever you are watching or listening, so that way you don't miss another episode and you can continue getting awesome information like this to fuel your journey going forward. Now, let's get into it. My top 5 tips for losing the summer weight. So, first one, biggest one. This is literally one of the first things I do with people when they sign up for coaching, and that is form your routine. Like, take 5 minutes and just think about, okay, what is my typical week like and what can I realistically do? Because if your schedule is about to do a 180 and you're trying to force what you were just doing in the summer into this new schedule, then it's going to be really, really rough and you're going to be setting yourself up for failure. So let's not do that. Take a second and literally just say, okay, Monday through Sunday. And it can even help to frame this in a way of like, okay, what is my worst week like? Because if you can find a way to get work done, to do what you need to do on the worst of weeks, everything else is easier. So come at it with that frame of scope. So look at Monday through Sunday and say, okay, what do I need to be successful and when can I get it done? So if we're talking strength training, for example, 2 to 4 sessions, at least 20 minutes per week is going to get you results. Okay. I can just say this without a shadow of a doubt because I've been doing this for years and I've seen people make progress with 2 20-minute sessions a week. So if you can get at least that, then you'll be good to go. So if that means, okay, Monday through Friday is going to be nuts because kids have sports and work's going to be nuts, fine. Do Saturday, Sunday, 20 minutes, like wake up a little bit early on the weekend, or maybe when Johnny's at football practice, you go to the gym that's a mile down the road or something and do your workout while they're practicing or something like that. And do that on Saturday, Sunday. And then to make sure that you're not like crushing yourself between those 2 days, you could do some things like maybe lower body one day, upper body the other, or front of your body one day, posterior side of your body the other. But that's going to get into a nerdy workout programming. We're not going that route today, just base level stuff. Promise. All right. So form that routine when it comes to strength training. Then when it comes to nutrition, do you have a day out of the week that you can meal prep or that you can get a little bit extra cooked? For example, like when I prep food, I do lazy prep. I say, you know what? There are days out of the week where I cook for me and my fiance where I'm like, okay, this has chicken in it. And I just did this last night. She's like, why are you cooking up all the chicken? I'm like, hey, if it's going in, the oven's hot, I might as well just cook it now. So you just prep all of it. And what I did, for example, was I just cooked it all, put a basic chicken seasoning on it, and then cut it up. I didn't just leave it there. I also took that next step of cutting it up. So that way, if I want to toss it in a salad, or if I want to like put it in a quesadilla or in a burrito bowl or anything like that, it's already good to go. I just grab it, poof, done. And that's one way you could do it. Or if you want to do like a full-on meal prep and just have all of your lunches for the week good to go and make that all on Saturday or Sunday, just to make your life easier and just that much easier, where you don't have to think about, oh, what do I have to eat? You just grab whatever you got in there and decision fatigue gone. So is there a day out of the week that you can make that happen? And along with all that, it can help to think, okay, let's say you're a teacher and all of a sudden now you have a new schedule you have to acclimate to. Another thing to figure out would be, where can you squeeze in little exercise snacks that you might have heard of that are circulating now? That could be walking. It could be some light push-ups or squats or whatever, just to keep your body moving and loose throughout the day so you don't feel as stiff. And I love programming in walking specifically because it's the easiest thing to do. And it's usually one of the things that has the biggest carryover towards our goals. So for example, if you want to lose body fat, getting a ton of steps and adding to that and getting more steps is going to feed into that goal and allow you to burn more body fat because you're burning more calories. And that could happen too with squats and push-ups like I just mentioned. But what I mean by finding time for this is, do you have opportunities? Like I just mentioned, Johnny's going to football practice. Maybe you already got your workout in or you have it planned for a different day. Can you walk around the track while the team is practicing on the field? Can you like take the stairs up and down? Because I remember parents would do this when we would do football practice on our turf field. It had a track around it, and then it had a big set of stairs like that came down on either side, and people would just walk around the track, or they'd go up and down the stairs while their kids would work at or would practice. So you could do that stuff too. It just comes down to understanding what we got going on and what we can handle. All right. So that brings us to tip number 2. Tip number 1 was form your routine. Tip number 2 is just start with exercise. Don't just try and do everything all at once if you haven't been doing anything. And a great starting point is exercise because it fuels a lot of things. Number 1, it helps you get into the groove of showing up for yourself. You're like, hey, I'm here. I'm doing something to make myself better, to keep me healthy, and I feel good doing that. And along with that, you tend to eat a little bit better when you exercise because you're like, okay, I'm embracing this fit identity of me. So what does a fit person do? Well, I exercised. I already did that. Oh, fit people also tend to eat protein and vegetables and all these things. So it feeds into this identity that you are now embracing. And that can be huge. So if you can get that strength training in, awesome. Try at least 2 times for 20 minutes out of the week. Can you just go for a walk? Like, let's say you don't have enough time to strength train, that's fine. Can you go for a walk, or can you just increase your steps by 1K or 2K by doing little things throughout the day, like opting for the stairs or parking a little bit further away, or making life a little less convenient when you go to the grocery store, for example, like going one side for one thing, one side for the other, assuming that you're not in a rush. Okay. Or maybe you have a class that you used to do, whether it's yoga, Zumba, Pilates, any of that stuff, and it fell off during the summer and you want to get back to it. Sign up for that first class, get your butt in there, get moving. It'll help. And you'll feel so good when you're done. All right. Now, tip number 3 is stick to simple nutrition. You heard me just mention protein and veggies and all that, which is great. The goal when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to starting back up, is not how hardcore can I go? I'm going to cut out everything, gluten, dairy, sugar. No, we're not doing that. Okay. Because that line of thinking is the reason that we're stuck where we're at right now. Because when you cut out everything under the sun, guess what you do when you have times where you're not paying attention? You go all in on that. Maybe you experience this over the summer where you go on vacation, or maybe you did this at home where you're like, hey, I'm not paying attention to my nutrition. I'm going to eat all the things I haven't been eating for a long time. So now you have this relationship with food where it's like, oh, there's good and bad, and I only eat good when I'm being good, and I only eat bad when I'm being bad. And that dichotomous thinking is the reason that we are in this situation in the first place. So let's ditch that. Let's set a new standard. Let's start something different and be different so you can be in that minority of people that don't have to have these issues over and over and over again. All right. So focus on feeling better. And how do we feel better? We focus on foods that are mostly whole foods, things that have protein in them, that have fiber in them, that are these single ingredient foods that will allow us to not only feel full, but feel nourished. Like we have more energy throughout the day. We're not as bloated. We feel like $1,000,000, and we don't have that 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. slump later in the day because we had some lunch that didn't give us anything other than calories. Okay, you have all these micronutrients that are filling you up now, and you feel like amazing. All right. So just if you're going to focus on anything, when you look at your meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, say, where's the protein? Okay. And if you want to take it a step further, where's the lean protein? And an easy way to know if something is lean or not is just take a look at the nutrition label and use the 0 rule. So if it has a certain amount of protein, you just add a 0 to the grams of protein, and it should be that many calories or less. So if it says it's 20 grams of protein, then it should be 200 calories or less, because we got 20, add the 0, turns into 200, bing, bang, boom. Really simple, really easy. And if you can get carbs, because carbs are not the devil, you should be having carbs. They have a lot of benefits when they're the good carbs, the complex carbs. Try and find carbs that have fiber in them, because all the bad things that you hear about when it comes to carbohydrates are pretty much gone when fiber's in the equation. You don't have these massive sugar spikes. You don't have a huge insulin response when you eat fibrous carbs, because it slowly enters your bloodstream. It doesn't just hit it like the same intensity of a pixie stick. All right. So protein and fiber are the name of the game. And also it helps to have some color in there. Yes, you're going to get fiber from fruits and veggies, but like, let's say that you are getting your fibrous carb through, say, whole grain bread, throw a little lettuce and tomato in there, or get some fajita veggies in your bowl, something like that, because those micronutrients, like I said before, they're going to make you feel so good and they have a ton of health benefits. So that is like PFC in a nutshell, which is also the big thing I teach in the FIT40 program. So just focus on that stuff for right now. And if you can do that consistently and you're not falling off track and you feel like you can nail that 3 meals a day, 7 days a week for a month, 2 months, 3 months, then jump into something like calorie counting or macro counting, because now you have that foundation. But if you don't and you jump into calorie counting, you're like, I'm going to go to 1,200 calories and I'm going to make up for it. Okay. No, you're not. You're going to do that for a week or two and then give up and do that cycle over and over and over again. Let's stop bullshitting ourselves. You know it's going to happen. Let's not keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, which brings us to tip number 4, no extremes. Don't come at it with this mindset of, I need to make up for it. You don't need to make up for shit. You had a fun time over the summer and that's okay. But now we're continuing on the path towards feeling better, towards improving our health. And we're going to do that by implementing these simple tips. We're not going to hop on a detox or a cleanse or spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on supplements that you know are a Band-Aid. They're not addressing the real issue, and it's going to result in all this weight coming right back. Let's not be one of those, for lack of a better word, at this point, dipshits who keep doing this. All right. I love the people that are on the journey to improve their health and everything. But right now, with all the information that we have based on detoxes and cleanses and how useless they are and how harmful they can be, you truly have to be a certain level of dipshittery to jump on these again and again and again. They don't detox anything. They don't cleanse anything. Your lungs, your skin, your livers, your kidney, if they are healthy, they will do way more than any of those ever will. All right. So that's just my spiel on the extremes. And last but not least, tip number 5 is learn what you need to do so you don't have to keep doing this year after year after year. Okay. Create a nutrition plan that works on vacation, that doesn't throw you off. I can tell you right now, off the top of my head, 5 of the FIT40 clients who came back from vacation and they're like, yeah, didn't gain any weight, because we actually include the foods that they enjoy and they keep it in moderation when they go on vacation because they don't feel deprived. Okay, that stuff will make a big difference. Also, find workouts that you can do when life gets nuts. Okay? Most people, 99% of people, can find 20 minutes in their week twice in their week. Okay? A lot of people make time for these hour-long workouts, and that's awesome, but you don't even need that much time. You just need to stay consistent and stop falling off and taking weeks or months off, which brings us to the next thing, which is the mental strategies to keep yourself from falling off, because that's the real core issue, is the mentality around all this. It's the I'm on, I'm off. I feel like I'm doing good. I feel like I'm doing bad. No, we need to ditch that mentality and learn these strategies to keep getting better. Things like don't miss twice, things like ditching the all or nothing mindset, things like understanding the spheres of control, all these topics that play such a huge role in the process that I teach every freaking week to the clients. But all that being said, I did create a solution to help with all of this. Okay. I did this podcast, number 1, to bring light to the things that need to be worked on, because that's the first step, is awareness. Understand where you're at, what you need. Now, the what you need. Okay. That is pretty much what I'm going to talk about right now, which is a program that I put together, which is a month long. It's called the First 5. It's a program that's designed to make sure that you are able to lose that first 5 pounds. So like, let's say you did go on vacation and you gained 5 pounds, this will lose it for you. But it's not just that. Okay. It's also going to teach you everything that I just mentioned when it comes to the nutrition plans working when you are out on vacation or on trips. You're going to get workouts that you can do in any situation, and you're going to learn the mental strategies so that you don't have to keep doing this over and over and over again. But all that being said, I haven't finished it just yet. It's still in the works. I'm going to have it ready for September. So you just need to be on the email list to be in the know first. And the way that you do that is you grab one of my freebies. Okay. So the Toned in 20 workouts are one of my favorites. go ahead. The link's down below. If you give it a click, it'll give you 20 workouts that are 20 minutes or less that you can do right now. You can get a jump start on it and get working towards the things I just talked about. And then when the first 5 comes out, and if you're one of those first people that grabs it, you will have a head start and you'll be in such a better place going into this last quarter of the year. So I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. I hope that you learned a lot in this podcast episode, and I will see you on Monday with another awesome guest. But until then, go ahead, go kick some ass, and I'll see you later.